Hi guys, welcome back to another video. So today I just thought that I'd what would I do? I already made one about like my life update up to this point, and then I also I mentioned how there's so many more international students who are kind of in the same place as me. I mean, a lot of people are here already, but a lot of people who are planning to come here are probably looking for information, you know, about what life's like, what the city's like, and stuff like that. I mean, because I was the same way too. Before I came here, since I didn't know anybody or I didn't have a lot of information, I was totally on Google and YouTube looking up what is Halifax like, or what's it like being a student at Dalhousie. I totally did those things, so I'm sure others do that too. So I just thought maybe I'll make one that's specific to Halifax and Dalhousie in case people are specifically looking for that. And my journey is super weird because I just don't know where I'm gonna be in the next few months. But what I've learned so far, I can I guess talk about that. So I am in Canada, specifically I'm in Halifax, which is a city in Nova Scotia, which is really east of everything. And honestly, a lot of people haven't heard about this province, and I hadn't either, to be honest. But I had heard of Dalhousie before, I just didn't know where it was. So I ended up going with this place. I came here in the beginning of January for the winter term, which is an awkward term to start in. I was actually really nervous because I've never really done a proper huge public university before. This place is huge. There are 20, I don't know how many students there are. I think 15,000 or 20,000 people in DAL. So it's a lot, and I'm not used to that. So that was kind of scary. But honestly, it really was the smoothest transition. I guess because it's so big and it's been around for a while, it's a well-oiled machine in a way. There's a system for everything. It is east of everything, and since it's a big country, it kind of feels isolated. But honestly, when you come here as a student, you're not really going to a lot of places. Once you get here, this is where you're mainly gonna be, and it's just really self-sufficient once you're here. At the airport, they have ways to get you to the college area. There are options. You can take taxis or the bus, or there's something called driver Daves, which is a cheaper option. It's actually free for international students the first time, which is really great because the airport is kind of far away. You have international student orientation the first few days before classes start. The International Center, which is a great place to kind of know about, because if you really need help and you don't know where to go, that's the first place that you should go to, because they can kind of guide you. What else? In those sessions, you basically learn about what you need for the semester. You should just remember the International Center, because then if you forget or you don't know anything, let's honestly just go there and ask. But then also they talk about healthcare or health insurance, because it's mandatory to opt into that. But the coverage is great. It covers a lot of things. If you're sick or just want to go see the doctor, you can basically go to the health center, or I don't think that's what it's called. It's whatever, I think it's a health and wellness center. You just go there and get an appointment, and I believe once you have your card, it's free because you kind of paid into the insurance. And honestly, that was such a relief, because I haven't used it yet, but I know in the US I still had insurance, but I still had to do a copay, which is why I'm already paying insurance, which is not the case here. You've already paid insurance, so you kind of just walk in and get an appointment at the wellness center, and then they just get your information, and then that's it. That also includes counseling, I believe. They were just so open about it, and it's just so available. If you need it, it's just there. There's just so many chances to get free stuff as an international student that it's great. It's the International Center will keep hosting events because they want you to get integrated. It's such a great way to meet people, and also just have a non-stressful time to not think about homework or food or budget or stuff like that. Because a lot of times meals are provided, so they'll have pizza and board games night, or Monday night meals. You just go there and you kind of enjoy a good meal, and these meals are so nice. It's fresh and hot. It's kind of a nice way to enjoy a meal after a long school day, and then talk to a bunch of different people and meet new people who are like not in the same circles as you are, different majors and from different places. The International Center honestly just does a lot to like kind of make international students feel welcome. I was like pleasantly surprised because I know like every university has an international center or something equivalent, but I've been to two universities or colleges, whatever. I've been to two of those things in the States, and yeah, they did have it, but like none of them have tried as hard as this one. And those two are supposedly a Christian college, so they're supposed to be known for trying harder, I guess. And they were smaller too, so I guess they were supposed to be better, but they weren't. And I only knew that once I came here. I was like, wow, they're just doing the most. And they have like a lot of volunteers come in and provide these meals and just like want to hang out, so it just feels very intentional. Since I went there pretty often, and I'm not the kind of person who usually goes to international center things, but like it was actually fun. That's that. Oh yeah, once you're at Dalhousie, you get a student ID, and that student ID is literally your ID for everything over here. Like it opens doors for some buildings. You scan your ID and you can go in. You can show your ID at grocery stores, and then you get discount at a lot of places. And then the most like convenient, like best part of the ID is that if you're a full-time student, you get like a bus pass sticker on your ID, which is a small sticker, but it's so great because literally that gives you the power to ride in the city, use all of the public transport for free. I mean, it's technically not free because you've paid a small price for it in your tuition, but comparatively, like if you like do the math or whatever, like that is such a great deal because you basically can show your student ID to the driver when you enter a public transport, whatever vehicle, and then you can like, that's it, it's free. You can go anywhere you want to. And in Halifax, like public transport is pretty good. I know I've heard like a lot of people here say that public transport sucks, but honestly, coming from a place like India, like it's so much better than what we have. I mean, ours is pretty good too at some places, but like this is literally like, I can't complain. You can kind of use it for like anything, like if you want to go get groceries, go see a park, if you just want to take the ferry, and there are ferries here too, and if you just want to go for a ride on the ferry, it's all free. I mean, that's honestly like the best part of going to DAL. It's a really expensive bus pass if you think of it that way. If you're in a master's program, I know there's applied masters, which you just take courses normally, and then there's a thesis-based masters, which is what I am doing for now, and you need a supervisor for that. The professors here are really nice. So far, from the 4 months that I've been here, it's a really good institution. A lot of good research happens here. And Halifax is the capital, but it kind of seems like it's a college town because it's all like, I bet like a majority of the population here is just students or faculty. Except for DAL, there are also like a lot of other universities. Like there's St. Mary's University, I believe, SMU. There's another one called MSVU, Mount St. Vincent University. And then there are like a few colleges, which like in my mind they're like community colleges, but not really, but they're like similar. I think that's NSCC, like Nova Scotia Community College. I guess that is a community college. And then there's like an art college too called NASCAD. I don't know what that stands for. So there are a bunch of colleges and universities here. All the ones that I said are, I think, eligible for international students to come to. So, and then Halifax in general is a really nice starter city, especially for like students, because it's kind of daunting coming to a new place for the first time, especially if like you've never been to the country. And big cities can be kind of overwhelming to figure out. It's more expensive, people are like so busy, which like they might be nice, but it's just like it's so fast paced, you know? So Halifax was not like that. It's kind of like a good best of both worlds because it is a bigger city, it's the capital, but it's in such a remote area that it's like separated from all of that. It's still got like the small town vibe. When you come here, once you go from the airport to Halifax, that's like the part to figure out because the airport's kind of far away. But once you're here within the peninsula, you've like kind of made it. You obviously, like if you're coming as a student, you probably are going to be in dorms or even like off-campus housing. Even then, like once you're here, it's kind of easy to figure out what to do. You'll go to orientation and they'll tell you what you need to do, and everything's super walkable. So like even if you don't have your student ID yet, like from the university to like shops, it's literally like 15-20 minutes max to get to like the downtown area. And that was like another great part. It's just like it's so small that it's so walkable. You're probably just always going to be close to everything you need. And if not, there's like buses to get you to the places that you want to go that are far away. But for the most part, like basic things are just so close to you. It's honestly like such an easy city to figure out. People are more chilled out and they're like really warm and friendly, very approachable. Like for example, the International Center, like a lot of events organized there are like done by volunteers from the community, so not necessarily the people who work at the center. That's a great way to meet people from the community. It's really easy to settle into compared to big cities where you kind of can sometimes feel isolated and alone even though you have so many people around you. It's weird because this place is more isolated and you feel that sometimes because there's not a lot to do, but like people wise it's less isolating because it's also easier to connect. I don't know, I'm sure there's like a different perspective to that too, but for the most part people are really nice. It's also like just a really pretty city and province. There's also like parks right within the peninsula, and because it's the peninsula, it's surrounded by water, it makes it like more pretty because they also have like the waterfront all along the east coast of the peninsula, and it's like literally like where I'm staying, it's like a 5 maybe 7 minute walk to the waterfront, and it's so pretty because a lot of restaurants are along the path. It's all like local restaurants with really pretty lights. It looks really cute, and then the water's right there and you see all the ships and you can see like the other city, which is Dartmouth, across the water. In summers the restaurants are open obviously, and they also have like small stands with like selling hot dogs or french fries or pretzels. It's very like almost like Stars Hollow in Gilmore Girls. It gives me like those vibes. And then I think once people actually decide to like settle here or reside here, they kind of go around in the suburbs because it's cheaper probably. But honestly, it's just such a great place for like a first city. I just don't think like my program really worked out, which is why I'm moving to like a different, more creative program in Toronto. Honestly, like I would love to do it here. I just love this place. I would love to do it here, but just long term, I've definitely heard that jobs are harder to find here once you graduate. If you're in like a STEM, I'm sure it's easier because STEM's just easy everywhere. I mean, the other con though is that it's a great, quiet for the most part city, but there's not a lot to do. And as an international student, your first few months will probably be great because you're so excited to explore and meet new people, but you'll realize that like it's pretty fast to do most of those things, and like once you're done, there comes a point where you're kind of like, is there more? Because there's not much to do after a certain point. It's a great place for families, and if you're older and like a slower pace, it's great. It's a great place to settle down. And so a lot of young people actually do move to bigger cities because there's just more to do there, and also like jobs are more available. But also like there is a trend of Halifax just growing exponentially. So yeah, that's I guess a little bit about DAL or Dalhousie University. It's called DAL because it's shorter, I guess. That's a little bit about DAL and Halifax. I just think I've been talking a lot. Wow, that's gonna be a nightmare to edit. See you later, bye!